The name of our Creator and His Son are very important and detrimental to our well-being. Are we not supposed to call on the name of the Most High? And does not salvation come from His only begotten Son's name? There is no other name that we can be saved under. Most people call the Creator God, Lord, Jehovah, Jah, Elohim, Heavenly Father, and most people call the Messiah Jesus. The real truth is that Jehovah, Jah, God, or Lord is not the name of the Most High, and neither is Jesus the name of the Messiah. The Most High and His Son's name are in Hebrew origin. Therefore, their names would not be pronounced in such a way. Their names are Yahuwah and Yahushua HaMashiach. These are their true names. These are the names we should be calling on for salvation. This may be shocking to some of you to find out this information. But before you decide to dismiss this video, please, we urge you to watch the video to get a full and complete understanding as to what we are presenting. Your life is at stake, and we don't want your blood on our hands. Satan's works are more intricate and devious than you could ever imagine. There are 3 ways to get the true name of the Father. How to get the Messiah names will be explained in the second video. But right now, we will be focusing on the Father. The first is that there was no letter J or J sound in the Hebrew language. Secondly, the Tetragrammaton of the Most High's name is Hebrew. The English equivalent of the Hebrew letters Yod, He, Wah, He creates the name Yahuwah. Thirdly, the transliterated name has to be used, not the translated name. What is transliteration, you may ask? Well, it is the practice of converting a text from one writing system into another in a systematic way.
The main reason the Most High and the Messiah's name could not be Jehovah or Jesus is because there is no J letter or sound in the Hebrew language, nor is there a J letter or sound in Arabic, Greek, or Latin. The letter J is only 500 years old, making it a fairly new addition to the alphabet because it was derived from the letter I. Before the 14th century, there wasn't a J sound in any language or manuscript. It was not until the 17th century where the J became widely used throughout the world. The Encyclopedia America contains the following entry on the letter J. The form of J was unknown in any alphabet until the 14th century. Either symbol, J or I, used initially, generally, had the consonantal sound of Y, as in year. Gradually, the 2 symbols, J and I, were differentiated, the J usually acquiring consonantal force, as thus becoming regarded as a consonant, and I becoming a vowel. In the original version of the 1611 King James Version of the Holy Scriptures, it has no letter J in it. For example, James is spelled Imes.
Yirmiyahu 23:27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
Food for thought. For those that don't know, Lord is Hebrew for Baal. So when you are calling the Most High Yahuwah Lord, you are calling him Baal.
The Brown Driver Briggs Hebrew definition says this about Baal, which is Hebrew coordinates number 1168. Baal means Lord. The supreme divinity of the Phoenicians or Canaanites. Smith's Bible Dictionary definition of Baal. Baal, or Lord, the supreme male divinity of the Phoenician and Canaanitish nations, as Ashtoreth was their supreme female divinity. Some suppose Baal to correspond to the sun and Ashtoreth to the moon. Others that Baal was Jupiter and Ashtoreth Venus. There can be no doubt of the very high antiquity of the worship of Baal. It prevailed in the time of Moses among the Moabites and Midianites, Numbers 22:41, and through them spread to the Israelites, Numbers 25:3-18, and Numbers 4:3. Hitchcock Bible names. Baal is Lord or Master.
Yahuwah is the name of the Creator and the Most High Elohim of the Hebrews in the Bible. We just were never taught this truth. It was hidden from us until such a time as this. The Tetragrammatons, Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh, is made up of 4 Hebrew letters having the force of vowels. These 4 vowels are found in the ancient Kodesh manuscripts, High Priest Mitre, and on ancient hieroglyphics. Early Christian writers transliterated it into Greek, which made it appear Ioi, making the sound of Ia-Oi, making the pronunciation Yahweh. However, in English it appears Yahweh. The thing about the W in the Tetragrammatons is that the sound, the W in ancient Hebrew, is the U sound, like in two. The Tetragrammatons, Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh, appears 6,823 times in Hebrew scriptures. In the King James Version of the Holy Scriptures, in Psalm 68:4, the short version of the sacred name is used. Remember, the J should be the letter Y. Psalm 68:4. Sing unto Elohim, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name Jah, and rejoice before him.
The Encyclopedia Judaica, page 679. But at least by the 3rd century BCE, the pronunciation of the name Yahuwah was avoided and Adonai, the Lord, was substituted for it, as evidenced by the use of the Greek word Kyrios, Lord, for Yahuwah in the Septuagint, the translation of the Hebrew scriptures that was begun by Greek-speaking Jews in that century.
Encyclopedia Britannica. They use the word Yahweh, but we know it's Yahuwah. The God of the Israelites, his name being revealed to Moses as 4 Hebrew consonants, Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh, called the Tetragrammaton. After the exile, 6th century BC, and especially from the 3rd century BC on, Jews ceased to use the name Yahweh for 2 reasons. As Judaism became a universal religion through proselytizing in the Greco-Roman world, the more common noun Elohim, meaning God, tended to replace Yahweh to demonstrate the universal sovereignty of Israel's God over all others. At the same time, the divine name was increasingly regarded as too sacred to be uttered. It was thus replaced vocally in the synagogue ritual by the Hebrew word Adonai, meaning my Lord, which was translated as Kyrios, Lord, in the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Old Testament. The Masoretes, who from about the 6th to the 10th century worked to reproduce the original text of the Hebrew Bible, replaced the vowels of the name Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh with the vowel sounds of the Hebrew words Adonai or Elohim. Thus, the artificial name Jehovah came into being. Although Christian scholars after the Renaissance and Reformation periods used the term Jehovah for Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh, in the 19th and 20th centuries, biblical scholars began to use the form Yahweh. Early Christian writers such as Clement of Alexandria in the 2nd century had used the form of Yahweh, and this pronunciation of the Tetragrammaton was never really lost. Other Greek transcriptions also indicated that Yod-Heh-Wad-Heh should be pronounced Yahuwah. The meaning of the personal name of the Israelite God has been variously interpreted. Many scholars believe that the most proper meaning may be he brings into existence whatever exists. Yahuwah Asher Yahuwah. In 1 Samuel, God is known by the name Yahweh Tavao, or he brings the host into existence. The host probably referring to the heavenly court or to Israel. The personal name of God probably was known long before the time of Moses. The name of Moses' mother was Jochebed, a word based on the name Yahweh. Thus, the tribe of Levi, to which Moses belonged, probably knew the name Yahuwah or Yahweh, which originally may have been, in its short form, Yah or Yahu, a religious invocation of no precise meaning, evoked by the mysterious and awesome splendor of the manifestation of the Holy.
The New Encyclopedia Britannica, Micropedia, Volume 10, 15th edition, page 786 states, Jews ceased to use the name Yahuwah for two very different reasons. The more common noun Elohim, meaning God, tended to replace Yahuwah. At the same time, the divine name was increasingly regarded as too sacred to be uttered. It was thus replaced vocally in the synagogue ritual by the Hebrew word Adonai, my Lord, which was translated as Kyrios, Lord, in the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Old Testament.
Hosea 2:16-17. The prophet said, And it shall be at that day, saith Yah, that thou shalt call me Ishi, my husband, and shalt call me no more Baali, my Lord, for I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name.